Hey everyone. I have a few minutes. I've been really busy this week, or this past week. I was gonna do a YouTube video, but it was just so crazy busy. But now I have some time before I start work. I did just start back up on my BSN program today, and realized that it's gonna be really interesting once I start working too and doing school and then keeping up with everything, but it will be possible. So today I'm going to do a video on how to get into nursing school. Really quick, really simple. It's not that hard of a process if you just know the right steps and the right map to put out for yourself. So first and foremost, I tell everybody this, if you're in high school or should I take the glasses off? Let's see. Oh, hi. Okay. If you're in high school or college, talk to a counselor. Let them know what your plan is. If you want to go RN, LVN, and then go to RN, just tell them what you want, and they should be able to give you the resources to get started. So I'm going to just go from the college route because I did not, right out of high school, know that I wanted to be a nurse. But I know that high school counselors should be able to help you too. And I did the community college route. There's a bunch of, where I live in California, there's so many good four-year college degree programs, and I'm sure in other states there are too. Whichever way you're going, just know that a counselor is going to help you lay out the roadmap to get into nursing school. So as far as community college, I met with a counselor. They said, okay, you just need to get the rest of your general education requirements done because you don't want to do that while you're in nursing school, and get your nursing prerequisites done. So the prerequisites for me here in Sacramento, for most of the programs, some programs have different prerequisites, but most of them, depending on what area you're in, a certain area, colleges around the area will have the same prerequisites. It took me a long time to say, but I don't have any notes here, so I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. So for Sacramento, prerequisites in general were like anatomy and physiology, communication, chemistry you had to take to get into anatomy and physiology, microbiology, and like English and sociology. I'm trying to remember. I think that's it. And then I just did, because I was trying to get into Sac State, which is a 2-year bachelor degree program here. So I also did statistics, but I only did that to get in there. You don't have to do that. But if you're going to get your bachelor's degree in nursing, eventually it might be just good to get statistics out of the way. That way you don't have to take it as a nurse, or after getting your nursing degree. That way you just get it done. And while getting my prerequisites done for nursing school, I fulfilled all my general education requirements. So most of you will find that that's the case. Just get them both done at the same time. So much easier. And then after that, while you're doing that, you will take your TEAS test, which is basically a test that covers basic knowledge of math, science, reading, grammar, all that good stuff. You will get a manual that you will study. I took about a month to study for my TEAS test. You go, it's like a 3 or 4 hour test, I don't remember. Each section is timed, so make sure you do the study manual. There's practice questions. Practice those questions and time yourself when you practice them so that you know how much time you're taking for each section, and get used to being on a timer, because I did not prepare enough, and while I was doing the math section, I had 6 questions left, and I looked at the timer and I only had like 2 minutes. So I blew through those 6 questions. I basically just guesstimated what I thought the answers would be so that I could actually answer all the questions instead of just automatically getting a 0 because I ran out of time. So don't do that. Just plan your time accordingly. And then for the bachelor degree program I applied to, I could have 2 prerequisites in progress. But for most community college nursing programs, you have to have all your prerequisites done. So get on those if you have to get on a wait list, or if you have to take summer classes, do it. I really recommend not taking anatomy and physiology and microbiology at the same time, just because you want to do really well in those classes, because one, that will help you get into a nursing program, and two, it's crazy. Like, you will have to study really hard for those classes to get a B or an A, and these classes, I always say, are kind of a good indicator of what studying for nursing school will be like. So do really well in those classes in your nursing prerequisites. That'll get you more points as far as on your application, which will help you get into nursing school faster. Other things that will help you get points on your nursing school application, I'm just speaking for California. We do a point system here. The higher points you get, the more lotteries you get, the more entries you get into the lottery system, and the higher chance you get of being drawn. I don't know how it is in other states, but that's the majority of California. So other things that help you get points to get into nursing school, volunteer hours. Another good thing about volunteering in the hospital is that you kind of see, is this really for me? Is this really what I want to do? And then you can volunteer in different departments and see what kind of nursing you would like to be in, like pediatrics, ER, labor and delivery, ICU. So do that. Plus, you'll network that's like a really great way to network with people who work in the hospital. If you volunteer there for a few months or a year before getting into nursing school, and then you take time to volunteer while you're in nursing school, you're going to build great relationships, and chances are you'll probably get a job there. So go volunteer. If you choose to be a CNA or an EMT or any other kind of healthcare worker, like a ER technician or a technician on a different floor, or a clerk or something like that, then that will really help you with points on your application for nursing school. And again, it will help you network. And most of the time, I learned this as a new grad, most healthcare organizations hire internal applicants as opposed to external applicants, meaning they're going to hire people who already work for the hospital over people who don't work for the hospital. So getting a job as like a CNA or an EMT or someone who works at the hospital and an entry-level position will help you get a job after nursing school there. So there's another way to get in. Speaking a second language fluently, I think you have to take a test or something to prove that you do, but that will help you get extra entries, extra points, for nursing school for getting in. And what's another thing? Like, if you come from a poor high school background, that was on there too. There's a list of them. You have to go on this website or something to see if your high school qualifies for being an underprivileged or something like that high school. Then you can get into nursing school that way. I think veterans, if you're a veteran, you get points. And I think if you're a single parent, if I remember, you can get points that way too. So they really help out people who are underserved and need a little bit more help in life. You are able to get into nursing school better if you served your country and if you volunteer and if you're already a healthcare worker. So those are some tips and tricks to get into nursing school. I applied to Sac State twice, didn't get in. But on the second round of applications, I also applied to community colleges. So I tell everyone, please don't discredit community colleges. Just go for it, and most, if not all, community colleges, I know in Sacramento, and if not in California, I don't know about other states, they provide bridge programs where you can work on your bachelor's degree during your summer winter breaks from your associate degree program. And then you're halfway done with your bachelor's by the time you graduate with your associates. So apply everywhere. Number one thing I tell people to, almost forgot this, go on the BRN website for your state. There should be a list of schools that are accredited by the BRN. Do not go to a school that is not accredited by the BRN. That is a waste of your money. It's a waste of your time. And you will cry when you realize that you can't apply for your license because the BRN does not recognize that school. So I don't care if it's too good to be true, then it is. Make sure that the school you go to is accredited by the BRN. I cannot say it enough. And if you meet up with a counselor and your college resources like career center resources should guide you in the right direction as far as where to apply. So that is all about how to get in nursing school. Good luck to all of you who are trying to get into nursing. Don't worry. It will come faster than you know it. It'll happen. And once you get in nursing school, you'll blink and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm graduating. And then you're a nurse. So I know it seems hard right now, but it is so worth it. Do not give up. What's today? Happy Wednesday and happy nursing. Thanks, guys.